Namaste. Welcome to class. So today is a rainy day here in Massachusetts in December. And I was feeling quite low energy this morning, and I still am feeling quite low energy. So I thought it was a perfect day to do some yin-style hip opening. So what I mean by yin-style is that we hold the pose for a couple of minutes while the body is cold, not really warmed up, to really work on stretching out our fascia. I'm someone who does some kind of hip opening every day. So this is something that if you want to, if it feels good in your body, you're welcome to do it every day to work on just opening those hips, releasing emotions, experiencing emotions. If you do start to notice any kind of pain, listen to your body. Of course, as always, your body is your number one teacher. So either right now, or if you start doing the practice that we're about to do in the future, and you notice this doesn't feel right, stop. Okay, that is always the case. So very, very important. My hips are quite open. Honestly, they have been since I was a kid, but I also, it feels best in my body when I keep my hips open. When they start to feel tighter, everything starts to feel overwhelming for me personally. So I'm a big advocate of everything hip opening. So we're actually going to do an exercise that I first learned here at the dance studio when I was a kid. So I have not done anything to open my hips today, so let's lie down on the floor. So you're going to need to be against a wall or something that you can put your feet against. So we'll just start with our feet up, and then very gently just open your legs. Only to the point that it feels like you're maybe at an 80% stretch. So honestly, right now, this for me it doesn't feel like it's stretching. But since this is the first time I'm opening my legs today, I'm actually going to hold here for the first few breaths. And then what you'll notice is that as you're lying here, just using gravity to open your hips, then they start kind of just falling, and it becomes easier to walk your legs down. Okay, so now as I'm walking them down, then I am starting to feel more of a stretch. And that, for me, feels, I was going to say comfortable. To me, a stretch in my hips is comfortable. That might not be the universal word to use for this. So when it feels like yummy, when it feels like you're doing something, then you can stop there. And so I like to just kind of use my hands to remind my hips to relax. So the tendency when we're stretching, and I think something that can lead to a lot of injuries, is that when we stretch in a way that our bodies aren't really used to, they tighten to try to protect us, right? So I like to just kind of have a conversation with the part of my body that I'm working on opening, on stretching. And I have that conversation with my mind and with my hands. So just telling myself, it's okay. It's okay to be open. And since hips are notorious for storing emotions, right? So when we open our hips, a lot of what we're trying to do is allow ourselves to experience those emotions, to let those emotions go. Then maybe also, while gently reminding the body that it can open, gently remind yourself that it can also open to the experience of emotion. Anything that might come up. So even as I'm talking right now, I definitely notice myself feeling more emotional as this is the first hip opening that I have done today. And so, yeah, I'm just going to remind myself that every emotion that comes up is valid and is necessary and is exactly what I need in this moment. So now I've been here for several minutes. So I think we can gently close for now. So let's use the hands. Bring them maybe slightly inside of your knees so as to keep your knees safe. And just very, very slowly start walking your legs back up the wall or mirror or whatever you chose. Yum. Oh, I love it. I love, love, love how it feels. So now we're just going to take a little bit of time here. I'm kind of gently pedaling out my legs, so feel free to do the same. Yeah, you can kind of move your hips back and forth, find some movement of the knees, legs. You can shake them a little bit faster. Or you can just have them static up the wall. So just enjoy this little break. Notice the sensation in the hips. Notice any differences in your body, in your mind, in your heart from before the practice to now. Let's take a couple of breaths here. I was so focused on explaining in the first round that I gave less attention to the breathing. So let's bring more of our attention to the breath as we go for the second round. All right, ready? Here we go, round 2. So gently opening those legs back up. Yeah. Again, just finding close to the edge so it's not so much of a push that it feels unbearable. Again, I want it to feel comfortable. You want it to feel comfortable. And yeah, so the legs will keep dropping. We want to allow for them to keep dropping as we stay here. Okay, so let's bring the attention to the breath, like I said. So breathing into the hips. And as you breathe out, maybe go a little bit deeper. Maybe. You don't need to. If you're already at your edge, just stay there. Let's breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. I'm noticing an urge to go deeper. My hips are kind of saying, stay there. So if you notice that maybe your ego or your mind is saying to go deeper, maybe because you want to get a middle split, or you want to get an oversplit, or something like that. Again, tune back into what your hips are saying. They are what is guiding us in this practice. Continuing to breathe nice and deeply. Focusing on the breath can help to distract a little bit from the pain you might feel. But again, try not to distract too much from the pain. You don't want to get injured. I'm going to go a tiny bit deeper. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's take one more breath. Okay, I like one more. And now. Now we want mind over body, because you might feel some screaming to get me out of this. But you know that the slower you move out, the better it is for the body. Yum. Oh, nice and slow. Oh, yeah. And again, either finding some movement here, or just
Mm. Letting the legs stay together. Whatever feels best for you. I think actually the way I learned it was just holding them straight. I'm going to go one more time. Please feel free to either go more, go less. Again, whatever feels best for you. Yeah. So the way that my hips feel right now, they're kind of like, are you really going to go again? But I know because I've done this for years that they can handle it, and it will feel good. Yeah. But if it's your first time, if your hips are a little bit tighter, feel free to end the practice now. And know that you did an amazing job wherever you are. So wherever you are on the wall, find gratitude, right, for your body, for the ability to do whatever it is that it can do, right? Our bodies are capable of so many things. And I know for me, sometimes I can get frustrated when it's not doing exactly what I want it to do. For example, there was a time in my life that my legs would be completely on the floor without any warm up, And yeah, sometimes it's hard for me that's not how it goes anymore, and I feel like I need to do that again. Yeah, and I think that kind of might be preventing me from being able to do that again. So something I'm really trying to work on is let's go again while I'm talking. Is being grateful for what my body can still do, and even being grateful for the experience of being able to do the things that I once could. Yeah, it's still in there, the memory. And memory is a beautiful thing. When the body can remember something that felt good, it's really so beautiful. I don't know if anybody's read The Body Keeps the Score. It's a book about trauma, right? So we talk a lot about how trauma lives inside the body, but every experience that the body ever had lives inside of it as well. So everything that we could do when we were younger, right, still lives in the body. And sometimes remembering that just helps me calm down and surrender to what I can do now. As I remember what I could do then. Oh, nice deep breaths. And Sue's hands again. Oh, it feels so much better for me when I'm just using my hands. Sometimes when I'm leading yin classes, teaching yin classes, then I'll come and just kind of rest my hand on a student's whatever part of the body is that's being stretched, and not pushing, right? Just resting the hand, and just that can bring so much relaxation, so much comfort. It's another beautiful thing to be able to comfort ourselves, right? Just the touch of the hand. So use the breath and your hands to comfort yourself. Again, reminding the body that it's okay to open. Reminding yourself it's okay to experience any of the emotions that are coming to you. I think this one was probably a little bit shorter than the last two, but I personally feel ready to close the legs again. So let's take one more breath. Exhale. All right, one more. Open the mouth and exhale everything that no longer serves you. And gently, gently, gently start closing the legs. Whew. Oh, yeah. Feeling it like somewhere, I don't really know how to describe it. The back of my hips? I don't know if I've really experienced that before. It's nice. So let's just take a moment to thank our bodies, to thank ourselves for taking this time to thank our bodies for what they just did for us. To thank ourselves for taking this time to work on opening the hips, feeling emotions. I think it's super important. Of course, none of us can ever know what it feels like to be in another person's body. So the only experience that I know and that I have ever known while in this body is the one of this body. And yeah, that experience for me is that the more open my hips and also my heart are, the more flexible I am in life, the more able I am to kind of go with each obstacle that presents itself to me, each challenge. the more I'm able to feel, the way that each experience causes me to feel, the easier it is to get through that experience, to learn from it, and to use it to make myself better. Okay.
If you need more time with your legs up the wall, please take as much as you need. If you're ready to be finished for today, that's okay too. Thank you so, so, so much for being here with me, for trusting me, allowing me to guide you. It really is such an honor and pleasure to be here with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, week, month, year, life. However much time passes between now and the next virtual time that we share together. So much love and gratitude. Namaste.